I'm letting you guys know right now, I strongly believe, and I want to make this very clear, but I really do believe that Hansi Flick does not see that the pivot position needs to be reinforced. I do think that he went into Barcelona, he saw the players, he saw what was available already, and he said, you know what, I'm happy with what Barcelona do have right now. Frankie, Christensen, Gavi, Casado are all good enough for me. And the reason why I am saying that is because if you look at what Barcelona have been doing in the past 48 hours, Barcelona want to spend most of their funds in the attack, which makes me believe that Barcelona are not so interested in signing a pivot reinforcement. Now, keep in mind, Barcelona are still interested in Mikel Merino, and so they do want to reinforce that position in some way, but Barcelona for sure are not looking at finding one of the best pivots in the world, and they're definitely not finding a pivot that can give them 5 to 6 great years. They're just looking for a backup CDM, and that is Mikel Merino. If Barcelona truly cared about reinforcing that position, they would say, forget about Nico Williams, forget about Dani Olmo, let's spend the 60 million euros for a player like Zubimendi or Joshua Kimmich or any other great CDM. But Barcelona is not doing that, and that is why we are hearing that Barcelona want to bring in Dani Olmo and Nico Williams. That is their priority. It is not the pivot position. As strange as this might seem, like I have said, I just think that Hansi Flick feels like he is okay with the options that he has available, and to include Mikel Merino is only going to be a added bonus or a cherry on top, and that's basically it. And so what we are going to be doing in today's video is speak about exactly what Barcelona want to offer to Nico Williams and Dani Olmo, because this is huge news. It is huge news because we would have never thought that Barcelona were going to embrace this summer signing both Dani Olmo and Nico Williams, two players who have just won the Euros with Spain and with Lamine Yamal. So let's start with the big news, and it is about Dani Olmo. It says here, according to Gigantes, that Barcelona have made a firm offer for Dani Olmo, and it is a 6-year contract with a total of 60 million euros in fixed and variable payments to Leipzig. Dani Olmo's representatives have convinced Leipzig to extend his release clause for a few more weeks. Barca structured the wages with lower payments in the first 2 seasons due to La Liga's financial rules, with increases starting in the 3rd season, which is one of the ways Barcelona are going to be making this happen. And then we do have other sources claiming that Barcelona is working to try and achieve the arrivals of both Dani Olmo and Nico Williams. And if you guys were confused about this whole deadline about his release clause, to make it very simple, there is a deadline which is on July 20th. If you negotiate a amount for Dani Olmo before July 20th, which is 60 million euros, and you get the deal done, then you get the deal for 60 million euros. But after July 20th, if no deal is made, then Leipzig would be allowed the opportunity to ask for even more. So once it hits July 21st, Leipzig can easily say, give us 80 million euros or 90 million euros for the player. Now, Gerard Romero has stated that the July 20th deadline date for Olmo could be extended if a firm offer has been made for the player. And what did we just hear earlier today? Barcelona have already made their firm offer for Dani Olmo on personal terms, and also to Leipzig, which is a 6-year deal, meaning that Barcelona have locked in the 60 million euro offer, and Leipzig don't necessarily need to up his price at all. Barcelona have already made the offer. Gerard Romero has also stated that these negotiations with Dani Olmo does not affect the Nico Williams operation. The club is working on signing both players, and they just need more time. And according to some other inside sources, I don't want to put out their names out there because I don't want this information to be potentially wrong in the future, and then I just shouted them out for no reason and gave them a bad name. But this is what the source had to report about both operations. Barcelona are very close to reaching an agreement on personal terms with Dani Olmo over a possible move in the summer. The player wants to sign for Barcelona and prioritizes them over any other club as of now. RB Leipzig also have an agreement with Dani Olmo regarding FC Barcelona. If Barcelona come calling for the player, they will have to allow him to leave regardless of the expiration of the release clause. The source has also claimed, right? Once again, I cannot really say it unless I do have an agreement with the source, because I just don't know if he or she wants to be exposed or not. But the source continues to state that Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Nico Williams over a potential deal. Nico Williams' camp wants a 5-year contract until 2029. Barcelona are going to offer a net salary, now listen here, of 5 to 5.5 million euros a year, and that, my friends, is perfect. These type of salaries is what we and Barcelona have been looking for. Salaries that are extremely low and would allow us to in the future maybe get even more players. So let's continue. He will have a performance-based bonuses and some percentage of yearly salary raise starting from the next season. Negotiations with Bilbao will take place as soon as the green light from La Liga is received regarding financial fair play. Initially, Barcelona planned to offer a simple deal to Bilbao, raising the fee close to 60 million euros, variables and bonuses included. However, if Bilbao insists on paying the full release clause directly, Barcelona will do just that because Nico Williams is their priority. So whether Athletic Club say we want to get paid in installments or we want to get paid all up front, Barcelona will do either. They do not care. They're willing to submit to this offer no matter what. And to get Nico Williams for a salary of 5.5 million euros a year is insane. It goes to show just how badly Nico Williams wants to be at Barcelona, because if he was truly money hungry, he would have gone to Chelsea, he would have gone to Liverpool or Man City or any other club where he could have gotten paid 3 to 4x the amount. I mean, like, think about it. At Athletic Club, he's currently getting paid 10.5. You're telling me that if he joins Barcelona, he's going to be getting paid 5 million euros less? Nico Williams truly wants to succeed sportingly. He wants to make it happen. And I love when players like that come to Barcelona, because the only thing that they prioritize is sporting success, which makes me believe that when he does come, he will work extremely hard. And we only want players like that. The same thing with Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo could have gone to other clubs out there in the Premier League or in the German League, maybe even Bayern Munich. City are also very interested and getting paid 3 to 4x the amount. But Dani Olmo said about 5 days ago that he's very ambitious from a sporting standpoint and he wants to continue to win, and he believes that if he wants to continue to be ambitious, joining a team like Barcelona will give him exactly that, to win titles, to score goals. That is also another reason why I want to welcome a player like Dani Olmo. He does not care about getting paid the most. He wants to win. So this is a win-win situation for everybody. And if you really think about it, right, this is just going to be my theory. It's not a fact, but it is my own speculation. If we pay 60 million euros for Olmo and 65 million euros for Nico Williams, and then in the future, maybe around the end of August, we pay 25 million euros for Mikel Merino, 3 Spaniards, right? Barcelona will be spending a total of 145 million euros. Doesn't that number sound familiar? Didn't we just hear 145 million euros in a report about 2 months ago? And yes, you might have guessed it. This does align with the Nike deal. Nike have already agreed with Barcelona that if they sign with them, they will give them a upfront bonus of 150 million euros. That does align with the total amount spent for Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, and Mikel Merino, which means that Barcelona is gearing up towards accepting that money and going for the 3 players. The numbers match just way too easily. And I do think, right, I'm assuming, right, this is all just theory and speculation. And I do think that once they use those funds from Nike for Nico, for Olmo, and Mikel Merino, I do think that from there, they will be in a position where for every player that they do let go of, they can invite a new one in if they so choose. Because once again, they will be back in the 1-1 rule. You let go of one player, you bring another one in. So Barcelona, to me, are in a great position. Yes, I know that all of this does sound very unrealistic, and that is because we haven't heard anything about the Nike deal and Barcelona. But maybe there are some things that is going on behind the scenes in terms of making deals, because we do not just hear this for no reason. We do not just hear about Barcelona going for Olmo and Nico Williams, like literally for no reason. Something is going on behind the scenes that we just don't know. If Joan Laporta is going for these 2 players, he knows that they will get paid massive amounts. And so it's crazy to see how this sporting plan is evolving under the guidance of Hansi Flick and Deco. I do think that Hansi Flick's sporting plan is very much different to Xavi Hernandez, because if Xavi Hernandez was here, let me pull up some earlier reports from this year. Xavi wanted a DM for sure before anything else, and that is why he was going for Guido Rodriguez to add more depth and then sign Zubimendi. That was his whole idea, and then after that maybe go for the signing of Nico Williams. But Flick came in and threw those plans out the window for sure, and his game plan is, I am okay with the pivot position. If we can invite Mikel Merino, then let that be the player, but I want to prioritize the attack. I want Nico Williams and I want Dani Olmo. This is a sporting plan that was never discussed by Xavi Hernandez. He threw out the CDM reinforcement out the window for sure, and I have already explained that I think that this could be a great route to lean to, because bringing in Dani Olmo brings us reinforcements in all areas of the attacking side, from the right wing position to the central attacking midfield position, from the left wing position, and also in the striker position. He can play in any of those positions, and it would allow for Pedri to also get some rest. It would allow for Lamine Yamal to also get some rest. Same thing for Nico Williams once he does join FC Barcelona. If Hansi Flick rotates these players between Pedri and Dani Olmo with Lamine Yamal, they won't get injured. It's not going to happen. I know that one of the biggest scares is that why would we get Dani Olmo when he is an injury prone? And that is because he has been playing a lot in the past 3 to 4 years. Hansi Flick knows this. He's not just signing this player not knowing that in the past 3 to 4 years, from an injury standpoint, it has not been so well. He does have a great plan and to keep these players refreshed, and he sees the chemistry. He saw what could happen with Barcelona based off off the performances that Spain were giving in the Euros. He wants that. He wants that magic. He wants that power. He wants that type of mentality during the knockout stages, which is why we're seeing Barcelona basically recruit the Spanish national team. I would love to hear in the future. This is my dream. If Hansi Flick says, okay, we got Nico, we got Olmo, let's release Frenkie de Jong and bring in Zubimendi, because I think that Zubimendi would greatly complement Barcelona's sporting style. Zubimendi showed what he could do in the Euros. He defended amazingly against England, and he was a great substitute to Rodri. There is some uncovered potential there. Zubimendi can be a phenomenal player under the 4-2-3-1 system at Barcelona. Hopefully, we can go into that route. Let's see. But as of now, it does seem like Barcelona's first two signings will be Dani Olmo and Nico Williams, and we're all going to be here for it. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.